Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome. Wait for some notifications to go out. See if people start coming in. Happy 420, everybody. Beautiful day here in Arizona. Hi, Sharon Sipe. Good to see you. Hello, whoever is the lurker. Welcome. Lurkers are always welcome. Like I could make a difference. Like I could stop someone. Well, you can, I guess. You can always block them. Haven't had to do that yet. At least not on this channel. Let's put it that way. I've done my fair share of blocking people on other people's channels as a moderator. But I also have quite a list of my own people I have blocked from years past. Probably a lot of them probably even aren't around on YouTube anymore. But just in case, you know. Good to see you guys. So, what kind of celebrations do you have planned for today, everybody? Hmm? You hear that bird outside? That's a mockingbird. Sometimes if someone's car alarm goes off, that bird will pick it up and sound exactly like the car alarm, only you know it's a bird. I mean, it does the pattern and the it's funny. But they sing all night long. Yeah. Birds that sing at night. Most birds roost at night. These guys sing their little heart outs. Finding interesting things in my yard. Don't quite know what to think about Sunday. On Easter Sunday, I found a snake in my yard. I have never found a snake in my yard. I've lived in this house since 1991 and never had a snake in my yard. In 1989, I believe, my father found a little tiny baby rattlesnake. It was just a hatchling. And it had crawled in a squirrel hole or mouse hole that was underneath the shed he was replacing. And he accidentally killed it. Thank goodness he did, though. But that's the only other snake we've had on this property since, yeah, my parents bought it in 1985. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting. And then I got to thinking about, whoa, that snake, you're really lucky because it was a California king snake, which was beautiful. You want to have them around in your yard because they kill the bad snakes. They live on diamondback rattlers, coral snakes, and stuff like that. And mice and squirrels, and depending on how big they are, rabbits. And they will get nice and big, great big, 6 foot long, 8 foot long. This one was probably maybe that big. Nah, more like that big around. About the size of a quarter. Yeah. About the size of a quarter around. So it wasn't a real big mature one. They can live up to like 35 years. I looked it up. I had to make sure. I knew it wasn't a viper because it didn't have that triangle shaped head. All rattlesnakes in them had their head has a triangle shape to it. It's not all streamlined with the rest of the snake. That's to make room for those teeth. Hi, whoever you two are that are watching that are not in the chat. Oh, I'm sure there's other people. Can't have a 420 celebration by myself, you know. But that's okay. Hi, anyway. Good to see you. Oh, wonderful. I love it when my Wi-Fi freezes up. Yeah. Just froze up, making me look like I'm really stoned. Which I'm not. Oh, dear. Not like I normally would have been for 420. I'm here for you guys. So. But nobody's talking to me. Hey, Willie, will you talk to me, kitty? Nope. He just stretched and went right back to sleep. Laying in his window. Let's pull a card. I'll just stay here and read cards. Could do card readings. Give us a spirit. Give us a spirit. Yeah. Give us a message from spirit, please. I even got out my Saturday Solutions cards that I normally use. My Colette Baron Reed cards. This is the Shamanic Dreams deck. And I'm going to pull a card. The message from spirit. And just basically threw 2 cards at me. Very good. First card. Skywriting. The Fates. It's happening now. Some people don't believe in fate. Some people believe in fate so much as to that your spirit signed a contract to do exactly what's happening, to be here now, to go through what's happening right now. We just had a full moon on Saturday night. Whatever changes you want to see happen in the days and weeks and years to come, look to the sky, hold space for it. And yeah, write what you want in the sky. But better yet, write it on a piece of paper. And on this new moon, burn it so that the smoke goes up to the sky. That is skywriting. Universe sees it loud and clear. To be able to do this properly, though, you have to have the eyes of the eagle and rise above the fray. You can't be all caught up in the, oh yeah, what about so-and-so? We haven't heard anything from him. What kind of mischief is he up to? When you're asking questions of political readers. Suspicion. It's hard, isn't it? To not be suspicious. When so many are suspicious of you. I know people are really suspicious of me just because I read cards on YouTube. And I'm old enough to be your grandma. Well, guess what? I would love to be someone's grandmother, but I wasn't blessed to have kids. I had a miscarriage by accident that was not my fault or anyone else's. It was just in the fates because I could handle it. Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. So be this guy. I mean, the eagle, my gosh, eagles has such clarity that they make powerful split-second decisions when they decide that they're going after something. And with razor sharp vision and clarity. So yeah, that's what we want. And this eagle doesn't need the moniker. Monocle. It's a monocle. Sorry, moniker is a word. Doesn't need that eyeglass to see clear. Maybe he's got it there so you can see how he sees. Hey, Stony, my man. Good to see you. I'm not old enough to be your grandma. Maybe your big sister. Yeah, I know. Stony definitely not old enough to be his grandma. Not even old. I think people would be very suspicious if we were brother and sister. Eh, Stony? Considering we're only, what, 3 months apart, 2 months apart in age. I love it. Oh, happy 420, you guys. Good to see you, my friends. I was sitting here beginning to wonder, where is everybody? And then it's like, okay, girl, just hang in there, girl. Notifications have to go out. It's like YouTube doesn't send out notifications as soon as you hit go live on StreamYard. I hope you guys are having a good day so far today. I had a really nice one. Hi, Cat Shepherd. Mwah! Happy 420, my dear. Good to see you. Yeah, I've had a really good day so far. Got to go out and be with my outside kitty twice this morning. Both times she's like rubbing in between my legs, trying to trip me as I'm walking along. I'm like, what do you want? And so she sits down. So I start to walk off. So she just looks at me. I go, well, and so here she comes, hoppity, 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 like a rabbit. It's fun having a kitten around. My other two cats they just turned 13 on the 8th of April. So, yeah. Nope. Not this morning. But yet it was cool this morning. So he would not be in where the irrigation is because that's cooler in there. It's humid in there. I think he was in there this weekend because he probably had just shed his skin. He was really shiny. And the moisture, one of those valves leaks. And that moisture in there, I think was what was there. It felt good on its skin, and it was really warm. It was 97 degrees on Easter Sunday. You're buying a house on Sunday? Can you get a reading on that? You sure can, darling. Oh, yeah. Sure. Let's see. Oh, since this is for you, we're going to use the Mystical Shaman deck, Kat. That work for you? Yes, of course. I know you've been wanting, so many people have been wanting to relocate. It's really interesting. I want to. I've been trying to for about 36 years. I moved here 37 years ago. I'm kidding. No, I do want to relocate. I just want to go where it's cooler. What if the cards say you have a cracked foundation? Stony wants to know. Well, Stony, you're the guy to talk to. Who could they contact? Who could she contact? You know? Okay, card 4. Cat. Is this a good house? Is that what you're wanting to know? Is this a good thing to do? Let's just give us something about the house. Tell us about this house. Just a general feeling about the house. We got 2 cards. It speaks of what you've gone through. First card I'm getting, set them up here. This is a lightning card. There's a new power coming about in your life, and it's been trying to get through to you. And it's been a matter of timing. And the timing has had to do with not just you, but all of us making the changes on the inside, that shadow work, that mirror work. That's what the Crow card is telling you. Did you have a hard time? Oh, God, I had a hard time with this full moon this time. This card has Spiral of Life or an Ammolite fossil, whichever you want to choose to make it be. It's about life and ancient life. And it looks like the earth is behind, way back here. This crow has gone and worked so hard inside that she's transforming. It's like the reading a minute ago. From the crow, you're transforming from the crow to the eagle. Don't worry about whether this house is a good thing or a bad thing. This is the house that's your next step. Pounce on it with clarity, decision, stand in your power. Awesome. I love Ammolites. Stand in your power and take what you want. Yes, definitely a new chapter in your life. This is the beginning of you being able to make your life what you want it to be, Kat. Oh, we've been waiting so long. Oh, this is awesome. It's the next card. One more card for Kat. The moon. All of the phases of the coming lunar cycle. All of them. See, they're also, the reason I love Ammolite is because it's a symbol of timelines. Everybody looks at timeline as a straight line, but it's actually a spiral. Hi, Kathy G. And everything that happens to you in your life is like a pocket in the Ammolite. Where's my Ammolite? Here it is. It's a pocket in the Ammolite. It's one of those divisions in the Ammolite. Well, if you look at this timeline of the world as that same kind of spiral, you see sometimes those little pockets line up. And when they line up, that's because there was something traumatic that you had happen, that you worked through, but maybe there was little bits and pieces that you missed. Maybe it's because, more often than not, it's because you didn't see them because you weren't ready to heal them yet. But as you're going through, whether you look at it as though you're starting in the center and working out, or whether you're working out and going into the center, makes no difference, really. But each time the two cross, you're going to learn something new about an old event, thought, assumption. That's why I think Amalite's cool. Oh, the Fibonacci. I kind of have a fondness for the Mandelbrot equation, but we don't want to go there. This is 420, not Star Talk. Neil deGrasse Tyson is not a part of this show, y'all. Yes, sacred geometry. I used to have ages and ages and ages ago, and I've been looking for a program that would do it. And I can find it. This was on my first Galaxy Note, the very first one. Oh, my kitty's coughing. He does that sometimes. He always has. You can make fractals and stuff, and you can do your own equations, and that would create the colors that would come in. And oh my, was that a fun thing to do? I would get lost in that program for hours, which is what I needed because I was taking care of my mother at the time, my elderly mom at the time. So, I'd be up all night when she was sleeping, and when I knew she wasn't very active but yet awake, I could sleep. I managed for about 11 years on about 4 hours in sleep a day. And then I got criticized for that. Can you believe that? I can. People who've never taken care of the elderly have no idea what's involved. You don't just live under the same roof. God bless them. And I mean that with all of my heart, because I wonder about myself. Oh, there goes a kitty. I wonder about myself. It's starting to get warm out there. She's probably going to go find a place to take a nap. Rachel, I have an opportunity at work that has been presented to me. Can you give me a meeting? You betcha. Meeting. Let's do our, you have this deck too, so we'll both, yeah. This is the Shamanic Dreams deck by Colette Baron Reed. This poor deck is starting to get worn. I use it so much. I use it for me. I did a reading on Easter Sunday about the future, and it was so full of metaphysical, spiritual stuff, I had to study it and put it away today. And today it was kind of painful to put it away. I was like, I think I need to look at this a little bit more, which was a real big lesson for me. I've learned. Write in your tarot journal and take a picture of the reading. That way you don't have to leave your cards all laying out all the time. Great way to lose cards, Rachel's new opportunity at work. It's a good one. Tell us about Rachel's new opportunity at work. Well, this being a 9 card, it's card of completion. It's also the connectivity card. Put it a little closer. You see it's a net and those little lights. They're like little fairies. Well, guess what? Those little fairies are us. That's us. That's the collective. That's all of our little, call it your soul. That's your essence. That's your being. That is your spirit. And it's little because it's up in unlimitedness. But in you, it's huge. So it can't all fit in you at once. So that's why we always have to look to our higher self. This is our higher self. And I know you're feeling a lot of connectivity lately, but you tend to react to change instead of acting on change. Hi, Viviane. Good to see you. Next card. Is this opportunity going to give you a revelation? Is this going to take you down a new path? I'm looking, look at girl. There's green. Look at, and it's the shade of green. There's healing in both of these cards. The unmarked trail. You know, it's that unknown. It's that unknown. But I have a feeling it has to do with something you're familiar with, because you wouldn't consider it if it made you nervous or freaked you out. If it was that kind of change. And I know you're thinking, change, oh no. Just make sure that your resistance to change, it's the only word I can think of that really fits in this situation, sweetheart, doesn't bring about the dream thief unless you want it to. This also tells me if you're having if you're having a hard time meditating on it, go in your dreams and see what the call is. What is this? Is this something that I'm supposed to do? Or should I refuse it? Because I see it either way is good for you. It's more of a matter of how hard you want to work and what you're wanting to accomplish of your goals and dreams. I don't mean monetary. I mean your spiritual and your service heart, because you have a huge service heart. I'm not going any farther. The caterpillar. Opportunity knocks, girlfriend. Opportunity knocks. Stay. So now this whole thing is telling me to stay, that you need to stay connected to the web. Stay connected to the collective about this. Sorry about that. I swear I bumped my touchpad, picking up the card. Anyway, so what this reading is, back to what this reading is telling me. You will be healed in any kind of panic or fear that you might come across with this change if you stay connected to the collective. Okay? That's where the healing is. That's where the light workers are. That's where you find the light. This card says, it's up to you which unmarked trail you want to go on. You want to go on the one that's over your head, above your head, or in the middle. And if you're really curious about how do I find the answers, even if they're not coming when you do card readings, you do meditation, you do your shadow work, because I know you're doing all three, bless your heart. You might want to take a break from all of that. Just kind of go dive into a Mandalorian show or a video game or and try not to think about it for a while. And then when you go to bed tonight, ask the dream thief to talk to you. And then recognize that this is an opportunity for you. But only if you really want it. None of this settling shit. Sorry. None of this. Well, it would be, don't rationalize it according to retirement. I know that's something that you're going to typically want to do, but I'm telling you, those systems are going by the wayside, y'all. Our retirement's going to be entrepreneurship. Just thought I'd let you know. I think that's about the only way we can do is barter and entrepreneurial and hanging on to each other in the collective. It's kind of like, okay, going back to the way it was. And you're welcome, Rachel. You're welcome. Next card that just came up is a gestation period. Like I said, you might want to unplug. Because I know you're thinking about it. And I know you went and had fun. Now maybe some quiet. Yeah, that's the whole deal, Kat. Anyway, this card is telling you need a little bit of a gestation period before you really make a decision on this. You got a lot happening right now, and you just need to take each thing one step at a time. And there's going to be some days, and I know you're feeling them now, where you're going to go, I don't want to do any more today. How much longer do I have to keep doing this? Hang in there. You got it. You got this. I know what's coming up for you with your mom, so that's going to take a lot of your time, and I think, sweetheart, you need to use that as a major consideration as the timing of all of this. That also has a lot to do with it. But if the timing is wrong, I'll tell you what, it ain't going to happen. Because if you force it when the timing is wrong, it doesn't work out. And you move on anyway. So relax. Go play your favorite video game. Put your headphones on and get in that spaceship and take off, girl. Yeah. It's, yeah, and I was, even thinking today, oh my word. I have a reading I want to read on, and it has everything to do with 420. I want to know. The reason I keep looking over here is I'm looking at all my cards over here, okay? My boxes of cards. We'll stick with these decks. Start with the Earth Mother. I want to know, and this is a political reading. I want to know if marijuana will be legalized, just federally legalized, just before the midterms. Just kind of had a little bug in my ear saying, you might want to read on that. Could be kind of interesting. Let's put it this way. Marijuana be decriminalized and legalized for adult recreational use federally in the United States. Will there be an end on the prohibition on marijuana? Cannabis, sorry, since that's the scientific name. Heaven forbid we would want to give it a Hispanic name. I love my Mary Jane. I don't know about y'all. And I've been fighting on this fight since 1975. I really, really would like to see it happen in my time when I can actually enjoy it and say, I can remember when. Is there a moratorium? Is our prohibition on marijuana going to end before the midterms? I keep hearing Lindsey Graham. Sorry. Okay. I keep hearing Lindsey Graham going, yeah, they just want to make everybody get legal so they can stay stoned, and they just want our military and everybody just to be stumbling around, stoned out of their minds. Guess what, Bub? Got news for you. A lot of them already are. It's about time you join the 21st century, Mr. Graham. Okay. I'm seeing it could happen. It's going to take inspiration. 011 card. Which means we got to come out of the forest. We got to come out of the cold. Those people who want it, that have been keeping their mouths quiet because they've been scared, need to come out. And we need to be able to help them come out and not be so afraid. For this to happen, though, it is going to take understanding and nurturing. Get your finger out of the way. Understanding and nurturing. Of ourselves, of those who are terrified of it, of those who disagree with it, and of those who already use it medically and understand its benefits. But also, there's water in both of these. There's water in this one too. Look, water's frozen. It's kind of like the path that they're walking on, but it's like a frozen creek. Water. Water. Whoop, get over here. Get your fingers on the right card. I hate this. The water. What is water? Water is life. Water is flow. Okay? It's going to happen. It's a part of a natural... she's walking over a bridge. And down below there are faces of crumbled statues. Do you think maybe that's like the swampy area that has been? And through our understanding, we got a loving bridge. Oh my God, look at the colors of those flowers. Ukraine. All the viciousness that's gone on over there is really changing the world at once. Because the next card I get, the reason why I brought up the water is going with the flow. We got to go with the flow. We can't play the resist mode. Because we'll end up having no bridge. And we'll just float on downstream. This information, you know, plant therapy has been around forever. And there's reasons why. The final outcome card I got. Communication. It's up to us. We got to communicate that this is what we want. And we got to communicate it so loudly that the naysayers begin to hear us a little differently. The way we've been going about it has got to change. Hi, Janet P. Happy 420. Yeah. So, yeah, I see. Oh. The question was this going to happen by the midterms? Yes. Provided we do all these things, yes. Huh. It's all in how we communicate it, though. And that's how you get it across to those who all of a sudden might decide maybe it's not so bad. I also see here, because this is a card of communication, this is the liberals' way of communicating. See what else we can provide for you if you stick with us. Would be a really good campaign strategy, let me tell you. Who would you vote for? Oh, Lindsey Graham, who's talking about all the liberals want is to have a high and intoxicated military that's weak in the knees and can't fight. Or do you want educated, enlightened people discussing why it should be legalized, if nothing else, so that it can be studied again. So I think they reclassified that in the MORE Act. So the other thing that needs to come with that, and I got to do this with the Shamanic Dreams deck. Will the banks start making it easier for people to buy at the dispensary with a credit card? A Visa? Will Visa, MasterCard, and those guys start willingly work with dispensaries, and especially the small dispensaries that are just starting by people who got a small business loan and they're people of color? Yeah, they have a terrible time getting licensed, and they have ways for people to buy. It's like once you get them in the store, they got to buy something. How do you get them to buy something if it's a cash only deal? And nobody hardly carries cash anymore, especially since the virus has been here. Is there a dove in your house? Sweetheart, this is Arizona. We have 4 kinds of doves that live outside wild. What you were just hearing, I hear so much I don't pay any attention to it. But you watch old cowboy movies and you hear the doves. I hear that all day, every day. That was a mourning dove. We have white wings, mourning doves, Inca doves, and rock dove. Now, you know what a rock dove is? It's a pigeon. But you look them up in a bird book, and they are called a rock dove. They're pretty, but they're just a purple-headed pigeon. The gray, blue, just you see them in every major city in the United States has them. But we have 4 kinds of doves. The little Inca doves are my favorite. They're little guys. They're only about that big. And that's for the tip of the tail feathers, tip of the beak. And their little wings have a black outline on the outer edges. But then they're that muddy gray color. And they're so cute because they walk kind of in a waddle where the head goes first, then the body catches up, then their head goes first. Or they just stand. You drive over the top of them with your car, and they'll just stay there, and they'll stay there, and they'll stay there. And sometimes they stay just a little too long and then fly up right underneath your car. Bye-bye, dove. Or they'll fly up just before, and it gives you a heart attack because they're like right up in your windshield. And yeah, and the mourning doves, we have a season on them. They hunt those. You can eat those. Yeah, mourning doves, they're the size of a pigeon. They're big, pretty good sized dove. As a matter of fact, Misty has caught 2 of them. She caught 2 of them last week. She was carrying something a while ago that looked kind of big too, so I don't know if it was a ground squirrel or a bird, but she had something. And I'm hoping it wasn't the snake. I don't think it was. She was sure in a hurry to head towards her bed, though. So I don't know what she's doing. She did that yesterday, and it was a lizard she had taken in there with her. So that wasn't dead, so I rescued it and set it free. Made her mad. She's hell on wildlife, let me tell you. So, yeah. Are the banks going to start working with the dispensaries easier? Is it going to be easier for debit card and credit card purchasing marijuana directly without having to get cash? And then it's so stupid because they have a cash machine in the dispensary. You go to the cash machine with your debit card to get cash, to turn around and hand it right back to the dispensary. It's their debit machine, and you see what I'm saying? That's how they get around it around here. It's crazy. Just because Visa and MasterCard, they won't deal with it. They won't do it. Okay. So are they going to do it this time? Looks like it's going to be a struggle. They're afraid that it's promoting addiction. And that if they start doing that with the purchase of cannabis, is it going to go into the purchase of, that's what Spirit's telling me, psilocybin and other such natural substances. And you know what, Spirit? You know what I'm hearing? Okay, so that's what they're afraid of. Yeah, but it's not like pharmaceutical medications are healthy and do not transmute pain. Take prednisone for a long period of time. Watch what happens to your bones. And this is what's needed. A new lay of the land. We have been so busy trying to change our past that we haven't learned the wisdom of the past. Actually, it's kind of a monochrome colored card, but it's one of my favorite cards in this deck because of the message that goes with it. We cannot know the lay of the land without discussing things with our ancestors, without getting feelings from those who have gone before, without studying actual history, not assumptions of or stories written by the victor. Oh, Big Pharma, let me tell you, Rachel, here, first time it went up to be for recreational, we have a pharmaceutical company in Phoenix. Guess what? Guess it went down. Guess where all the money came from that produced all the commercials with the horror stories of the increased in car accidents in Colorado, and kids aren't learning as fast in school, and all the bullshit stories we learned in the 3rd and 4th grade in school. You know, the same old, just say no stuff. Only it was all, this is the nightmare it's caused in Colorado. And then you talk to people in Colorado and they're going, best thing that ever happened to our state. So it went down. But then our ex-governor, Five Symington, who is the genius behind the savings and loan scandal of the 1980s, early 1990s, saw the money that was available that could be made in legalizing it, taxing it. Everybody comes out ahead. And then it starts coming out that it helps PTSD. They have proof that it helps epilepsy and PTSD. CBD does, which is a part of cannabis. Hemp is a type of cannabis, or cannabis is a type of hemp. They're the same cousins. It's just one has higher THC than the other. So that's interesting. Okay. There was one more card I need to pull. It'll happen. These and them, they go by profit margin. Supply and demand will demand it. It's just going to take community gathering around the power of community. So, which is happening. They got the MORE Act through, so that, it's letting it's going to set free a lot of people that, were sent to prison for a small possession of marijuana, sent to prison for the rest of their lives or 30 years or whatever. That's a start. There's a bunch more in it too. I don't remember all of that, but I just wanted to read on those two things. I've never read on them before. I could have done the pendulum. One of these days we'll do nothing but pendulum readings instead of card readings. How's that sound? Wow, it's been almost an hour. That went by fast. Do you hear that? That's a dove. Yeah, I have my window open. Oh, Lord, I couldn't stand to be here if I didn't have my window open. It's hot in the 90s. See, it sounds like a John Wayne movie in the background, doesn't it? I never thought about that. Well, it was like that on Saturday, too, for Saturday Solutions. And they were, Saturday morning, man, they were noisy. All the birds were really noisy. And I had my window open while I was recording that. It was like, they always sound like they're laughing. They go, oh, 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 oh. That's a dove. It does. John Wayne movie. Sound real bravo. Yep. I live in a town that most of the John Wayne movies were made. So go figure. All the ones where he's in a bar or some kind of a building, they're either made at Old Tucson, right here in Tucson, or between Tucson and the little town of Benson here east of me and a little south of me is Mescal Road, Old Tucson. And that's where I went there for, my mom and dad used to belong to a square dance group. And they had a square dance thing out there, which was cool because to get out there, you have to have permission. They've got guard dogs and all that out there. That's the serious filming goes on out there. And they had this big square dance tournament thing and whatever they do for square dancing, where a bunch of different square dance groups get together and dance and have a dance off. Anyway, walked in this one old building and I looked at the wallpaper and went, 7 brides for 7 brothers. Yep, is that red and gold flat wallpaper from in the brothel in that movie. So it's really bizarre. You see that stuff out at Old Tucson because it's a tourist trap. The one on the west side of town is a tourist trap. They have shootouts and reenactments and all kinds of stuff out there. That's where the train is. That's where the school is from Little House on the Prairie. And those two are about the only two that of the original buildings that survived. Oh, and the Mission. The Mission has been in almost every Mexican movie, made the cowboy, Mexican, Western. That's the word I was looking for. That has to do with Mexico. They always show the plaza with the church. Well, that's out at Old Tucson. Yeah, just across the wash from the schoolhouse from Little House on the Prairie. Weird. Movie studios are like that. It's fun to go out there. My ex-husband and I used to like to go out there when they would be filming something. Because you could get in for free, because most people actually don't like to go there for that because there's no gun reenactments. You have to be quiet. So all the loud touristy Western stuff isn't going on. I'd much rather watch them film a movie, TV show or something. I got to watch them film part of the Young Guns out there. Saw Lou Diamond Phillips and Kiefer Sutherland. And they were riding their horses across the wash up into the front of the Mission. Got off the horse. Kiefer Sutherland's horse was a big horse to make him look taller. Because when he got off that horse, he's little. He's a really little guy. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty funny. Lou Diamond Phillips. Lou Diamond Phillips, you know. Yeah, I think he was in that movie. He's doesn't he play a Native American in that movie? All I remember is he had a long ponytail in the back, and he was on a normal size horse, and got off and looked like a normal size guy. But Kiefer Sutherland gets off this big tall horse, and it just made him look shorter. I was, it was really funny. He is 5'5" or 5'6", I think, is how tall he is. So that's amazing what a camera angle will do. It makes blue reflection go out of your glasses. You know what that's from? You think you're doing yourself a favor by getting the blue shield on your glasses, but it makes reflection horrible when you live stream. So they're going to have to come up with some kind of a blue film that doesn't look like it looks like polarization. I mean, look at, see? Looks like polarized sunglasses if they were dark. I think do I have some regular glasses up here somewhere? I don't know. I think I've got some that don't have this on it, and those are the ones I should wear, but they're dorky. Anyway, anybody else want a card? Rachel, your opportunity. I can't wait to hear how that turns out. And Kat, please, Kat, tell me how it goes with the house and your new opportunity. I've been feeling that one building up with Kat. That one, when you said you were getting a new house on Sunday, I went, something in my tummy went, ring, finally. That's something. And I'm really getting where I'm learning to trust that more, because that's mediumship. That's the beginning signs of mediumship. So I'm excited. Gotta finish the Reiki first. That's my plans for this afternoon. I have to take the quiz for the level 1, and then make my appointments for my attunements. My first attunement. I've already had this attunement once. She may decide she wants to skip it, but I would like to have it done by her. It's not going to hurt anything, that's for sure. I could definitely use my chakras realigned. So, yeah. Well, golly. Been interesting. Anything else you guys want to read on? It's all no holds barred. I'll read on politics, whatever you guys want to read on. I'm having fun doing this. You have to excuse me. I got smart and I ate just before I went live instead of waiting until after. So I'm usually starved by the time we're through. So, yeah. Tomorrow night on the Lightworkers Roundup, we're talking about old Tucson Lightworkers Round Table. We have Hurt 213 Jay coming, and I am so excited. He's my buddy. We talk on Instagram all the time, so it might be really hard for me to stay on track with him, but just discussing things with him, he'll tell you how it's just automatically comes out when you just talk about anything with Jay, because he's so focused on positive vibes and wellness and inspiration and transformation. Yeah, I cannot wait. He is like my little brother, my son, and my grandson, all wrapped up into one wonderful, sweet human being. And I love it because I think his favorite actor must be Wesley Snipes, because he is really into Blade and Blade Runner, the Blade Runner series. because he's into animation and video games, and it's going to be really fun to have someone with that point of view, you know? I'm willing to, we're going to talk about wherever it goes. I have a format, but it's a loose one. And then the following week, for the last week of the month, it's Maya, Black Cat Tarot, will be on. And I am really looking forward to that. She and I have so much in common. Oh, who knows where that one's going to go. She reads on crime. She reads on politics. Not a lot of politics. She reads on the spooky and the weird. Yeah. She's fun. She's a lot of fun. And then after that, first week in May is Red Lentil Healing. Adrian will be here. So that's May 5th. So the lineup for the Lightworkers Roundtable just keeps building and building and building. Yes, Jay is a wonderful person. I adore that young man. He's a breath of fresh air. He really is. He's so open and so accepting, and he rejoices in who you are and getting to know you for you, and has no preconceived ideas. And it's obvious. It shows. Because there's just, yeah. It's growing. It's, yeah. Oh, it's getting better and better, because after Adrian, May 12th is Debbie, Freebird Spirit. And like I said, May and June, it gets hotter. Muy caliente by the time we get to June, you guys. That Light Workers Roundtable, the Light Workers will be bright in the month of June. Oh my. And I'm hoping that by 4th of July, we'll have some fireworks on the show. So, yeah. It's fun because it's just one-on-one. There's not a whole panel of them or 2 or 3 of them. It's just myself and my guest. And get to find a little bit more about some of the things that they like to do in their off time. To keep themselves ready for their on time. Because let me tell you, doing this, reading the chat, keeping up with the chat, keeping up with questions, the technical stuff, and then card reading. Because when you're card reading, you're in a different state of mind. That's why I don't like go, okay, who wants another card? Who wants another card? The whole time I'm here, because if I have a topic I want to talk about, I have to come out of that reader's mode. And then as I'm shuffling, the rhythmic sound of my shuffling starts putting me back into that brain mode to read. So it puts me into the connection. I don't need to work on the connection with my guides, because sometimes they slap me up the backside of my head at least a dozen times a day with epiphanies and revelations and, oh, yeah, like finding a California king snake in my irrigation box. At first, it scared me. It took my breath away, and I didn't want to move fast, because if it was a rattlesnake, that's when you get bit. Is when you do something fast. You move slowly back away. But then I saw the eyes and I saw the head, and it was streamlined with the rest of the body. It wasn't shaped like a rattlesnake's head. I was like, well, that's just a damn king snake. And then I was like, ooh, that's a pretty king snake as I got to looking at it. And I am pretty sure the reason it was in there is it had just shed its skin. I'll bet you money it had just shed its skin. And it's moist in there. And it was 97 degrees on Sunday. That was the day I found it. The thing that was fascinating, you see these things right here? These interesting little thingies. I did a vision quest on Saturday. Also, which was very earthy. I was very attuned with my flowers, my just it. Yeah, my vision quest was very pleasant and grounding, and I felt really good. And then my card of the day on Sunday was the Amalite, which we talked about earlier. Well, in that particular card, let me get it on my phone. That way I don't have to get up. In that particular card, it has the Ouroboros. I never can say that right. The snake that is eating his own tail. The snake, the circle snake. Let me find the card and I'll show you, and then we won't have to have this silly discussion. There. Okay. Look, this was the card of the day for my Instagram on Sunday. And I go outside on Sunday, lift the lid on the irrigation box to see how bad the leak is and what I need to do to fix it. And I find a living California king snake all curled up in there. And at first it was like, oh, what is that? What kind of snake is that? And it started to move to get away from me. And I was like, oh, but that's just a king snake. But that scared me because that very easily could have been a venomous snake, rattlesnake. Because let me tell you, as I was reading about the California king snake, the two things that will bring them to your yard are rodents and other snakes, not other reptiles, because I have thousands of lizards out there. Other snakes. They eat rattlesnakes. They kill and eat rattlesnakes, and they will kill a rattlesnake 3 times their size. Kind of interesting. So he can stay in my yard all he wants. He doesn't bite me. He doesn't bother me. Only thing is I do have an outside kitty, and if the two meet, the kitty will win, because kitties always kill snakes. Just you stop and think about it. How often do you hear about a cat getting bit by a rattlesnake compared to how many times do you hear about a dog get bit by a rattlesnake? What do cats lead with when they are unsure of something? They stand back and they bat at with their paw, right? And they're quick about it. And what's a dog do? What's this? And sticks their nose in it. Who's going to get bit by the snake? The cat or the dog? Most snake bites, coming from being a veterinary assistant here, are right here in the jowls or halfway up on the lower leg, because they either just blatantly stepped on the damn snake or they stuck their nose in the hole because they saw something move and the snake nailed them. Cats make a really weird sound too when they see a snake. It's kind of a rumbly growl. I can't put it in words. Yeah, kind of makes your skin crawl. No. But you know what? Dogs will survive a snake bite easier than a human. As you stop and think about how many coyotes and wolves and shit that get bit by snakes, timber rattlers and stuff, they survive. It really does depend on the dog, where the dog was bit, what kind of snake it was. Because, here we've got coral snakes, diamondback rattlers, sidewinders. Those are the 3 bad guys. The diamondback's the one you don't want to run across. You don't want to run across a full-grown male in its prime diamondback rattler, because that sucker can be 9 feet long and weigh 15 pounds, 10 pounds. That's why people eat them. Well, people don't eat them in Arizona because they're protected. You get in a lot of trouble for killing a diamondback rattler. Even if they're in your yard and you kill one, you can get fined. It's a big fine. They're endangered species. So you have to trap them. You have to call an exterminator to come and get them, snake handler. If you live out in the county, hey, Harley, good timing. We're talking about snakes. Out in the county, the fire department out there will come and get them, and they will come and catch them and haul them off and release them. That's funny. Harley's not fond of snakes. It's good to see you. Happy 420, my friend. Oh my gosh. Oh, hey, dude. That pregnant hooker in there, she's fat. She's so fat. The bud that was munched, had the top munched off, is just big around now. You told me to leave it another couple weeks. That was just last week. And they're about half again as big in a week of what they were last week. Just saying, the devil is a serpent. But you told me the king snakes were cool, and that if you were me, you would keep that king snake. I love it. Yeah, that so yeah. And you know what? It's still just as dark green. I keep waiting for those leaves to fade. They are starting, like, in towards the vein. The veins are getting that olivey green color. Yeah. Yeah, I've got it marked for the 4th of May. And we'll see what happens. But I keep checking it, and I keep cheating. I've got all those little belly buds underneath there, So every once in a while, when I water, they break off sometimes. Oops. So about once a week, I smoke it and check it, Yep. Well, that hasn't happened yet. She's so busy drinking that she's not, I use about 1.5 gallons of water in a 7-gallon fabric pot, and doesn't hardly run out the bottom. She's thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. But I am having a hard time keeping it under 80 in there right now already. And I came to the conclusion it's the light, one of the lights I use. I'm going to retire it. Well, not completely, because it's perfect for veg, because it's warm. I have an Enjo yield, and it gets hot. And it even has a fan on the top of it and everything to help disperse the heat. That just disperses the heat into the room better. So, yeah, you told me I'm watching for the branches to start getting that yellow. They're getting that lime green color. They're not as dark as they were, so they're starting to get a little yellow. But all I'm doing is just water, and I don't add it. There's nothing else in it. It's just pH balanced water. Oh, yeah. I can't wait for her to finish, too. The Stony was talking about his Amazon rose, too. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Well, let me put it this way. On Instagram, I do my card every morning. when I finish doing that, I'll smoke a bowl because I have to get the pain meds starting in. So when I picked up my bong, stuck to the bottom of the bong, I'll be darned if there wasn't a bud that I had pinched off yesterday or the day before and forgotten about. So it was even kind of dry. Oh my goodness. If I harvested now, I would be real happy. So I can only imagine what it's going to be in 2 more weeks. Awesome. I can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, I was telling those guys, I did a vacation, a 6-hour Vision Quest vacation on Saturday that had me very grounded with earth and dirt and soil. And how Stoney was talking about how he went on talking about being angry with his dad and having to forgive his dad and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to tell Stoney, no, that's PE, dude. That's where it's going to take you, because that's where it took me. It took me into dark places that I needed to face, but they weren't bad dark places. They actually made me giggle, a lot of them. But is it really? Cool. I'm looking forward to it because, you sent me those seeds. I'm going to grow those, so I thought I'd grow that when it's cool. Gonna pop those probably right around Halloween. I should, well, depends on when the next row, because I'm gonna do the, yes, they do. You know why? They unlock doors to places that you thought you had locked away forever, that you need to face. 77 days. I still want to try another purple anaconda. $77 days. Okay. While I'm on 60, let me see. Let me look. I use an app for all my grow information. It's called Grow with Jane. It's a free app. And they have a community you can join or not join or whatever. I don't join it, but it's a place I keep track of. I take pictures I send to you and stuff. It all is going in this app. So where are we at? Today we are tree log. No, I don't want that. Helps if you hit the right button. I'm on 18 weeks since germination. So 121 days, 18 weeks is where I'm at right now. So yeah, today is week 10. Day 64 is today on the pregnant hooker. Let's see. Let me get my most recent photos to show you. When was the last day it took me pictures? There should be one. There's pictures. They're starting to get, that's 121 days. So yeah. Actually, that particular one is bigger than that. I haven't taken any, I was taking pictures every day, and I thought, all that's doing is filling up my phone. Kind of silly to fill up my phone with pictures that, don't change a whole lot day to day. But now, that's why I like flowers, because everything changes so much from one day to the next. That's what's fun. That's the fun part. Well, go spray those girls with lots of love. Enjoy. Thanks for stopping by. Tell Nikki hi. Yeah, you're pretty girls. Yeah, the chocolate hazelnut. I definitely want to try some. You send me the seeds for those. So, yeah. I figured that would be a good one to grow at Christmas time, or, during the cooler season. Because chocolate melts in heat. Although mint grows like crazy here. Oh my God, if you grow mint, don't put it in the ground here. It'll take over your whole yard. Oh, yeah. Keep it in a flower pot. Because take over mint. Talk about invasive. Only thing worse is marigolds. But I can think of reasons to have marigolds in your yard. Marigold seeds. I'm not marigolds. Morning glories. Morning glory seeds. We used to make LSD with morning glory seeds back when I was 18, 19 years old. I knew someone that had an isomerizer machine, and he had the recipe for it. Made really good blotter acid. Now you want to talk about stupid. Stupid. Anyway, blotter acid. You heard stories of people going blind doing blotter acid. Not because of the LSD, but because of whatever they had used to make it. And they blotted it in their eyes. I was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I was always, give me the little panes with the little dragons and shit ink, or the little microdots. I preferred the microdots. They'd go under your tongue for a long time. Yeah. I was about, yeah, 19. We put just 4-way. Yeah, 4-way paint in a bottle of Ernest and Julio Gallo. I don't know, Chablis or one of those really cheap wines. Put it in a gallon, and 4 of us drank the gallon. And then we went on a hike in the redwoods. We didn't hike very far. Too many things to look at in the redwoods. Oh my God. And the trees. There's so much moisture and so much fog that, I kid you not, the bark on the trees is kind of spongy. And we had one of the people with us, one of the guys with us is from Alaska. And he kept pushing on the tree bark and he'd go, ooh, it's spongy. Water would run out of it, And pretty soon you get all you walk by this log laying along the pathway. And we're staying on a path because, man, you don't want to veer off the path because you'd get lost. And you would be just 10 feet off the path, but you'd be lost for 2 days. Looking at all the little mosses and the little critters and the slugs and the snails. Fungus among us. Let me tell you. Wow. My eyes were exhausted by the time we were done, because I think I blinked twice the whole time because it's just the tears. Kind of reminded me when I had chemotherapy and I didn't have any eyelashes. Reminded me of that. Because you don't realize how much crap eyelashes keep out of your eyes until you don't have any eyelashes. You constantly tear. Constantly tear. I mean, I didn't wear makeup because I had constantly a tissue Actually, I went ahead and carried a cloth handkerchief because that's the only way you have to protect from getting tiny, tiny obstacles in your eyes is your tears flush. So, well, anyway, I think I'm going to head out. We're at an hour and a half. I want you guys to have a happy, happy 420. Enjoy yourselves tonight. May you have silicone baggie, you guys. They're pretty cool. Here's a gummy wishing you a happy, happy 420. I'm going to get another one too. They're pretty potent, but I'll do two. Thanks, Harley. I love you guys. Hey, and if you really want to get Ziplocs out of your lives, invest in some of these. They're pretty cool. They work better than Ziplocs. They don't leak. And they even have measurements on the side for ounces and liters and all that kind of stuff on the side. This has been in my freezer. Okay. I thank you guys. Have a good one. Take care. Be kind to one another. Most of all, be kind to yourself. I don't think I'm too worried about that today. Trying to stay out of trouble. Love you. Bye.